Hi, I'm Christine Belling with BriteCo, and today we're talking about wedding superstitions. Because let's be honest, wedding planning already comes with enough decisions. Now add in people telling you it's bad luck to get married in May, bad luck to wear pearls, bad luck to see your partner before the ceremony, bad luck if it rains, bad luck if somebody drops the ring. At some point you have to ask, are these traditions meaningful, harmless fun, or are they actually making your wedding more stressful and more expensive? So today we're breaking down some of the most common wedding superstitions, what they're supposed to mean, and what couples should actually worry about when planning their big day. One of the biggest wedding superstitions is rain on your wedding day. A lot of couples panic when they see rain in the forecast, but traditionally, rain has often been seen as good luck. It's connected to ideas like fertility, abundance, and a strong marriage bond. But here's the practical side. Even if rain is considered lucky, it can still create real wedding day problems. Outdoor ceremonies may need to move inside, photos may need to shift, guests may need shelter, vendors may need extra time to adjust. So instead of worrying about whether the rain is a sign, focus on whether you have a backup plan. Ask your venue, what happens if the weather changes? Confirm your tent, indoor option, or alternate schedule. And make sure you understand what your wedding insurance can help protect if extreme weather creates a bigger issue. Rain might be lucky, but preparation is what keeps that day moving. Another classic superstition is that the couple shouldn't see each other before the ceremony. Historically, this one goes back to a very different time when arranged marriages were more common and families worried someone might back out if they saw the bride or groom beforehand. Today, most couples are not dealing with the same concern. That's why the first look has become so popular. For some couples, waiting until the aisle moment feels emotional and meaningful. For others, seeing each other before the ceremony helps calm the nerves, gives them a private moment together, and makes the photo timeline easier. So here's my advice. Don't let the superstition make the decision for you. Think about your schedule, your photography plan, your personalities, and what will make that day feel best for both of you. The lucky choice is the one that helps you feel present, relaxed, and excited. Let's talk about pearls. In some traditions, pearls are considered bad luck for weddings because they're said to resemble tears. That's why you may hear people say not to wear pearl jewelry on your wedding day or not to choose a pearl engagement ring. But like many superstitions, this one depends on your family, culture, and personal beliefs. Pearls can also be beautiful, classic, and meaningful. Maybe they belong to your grandmother. Maybe they match your dress perfectly. Maybe you simply love them. So, should you avoid pearls completely? Not unless the superstition genuinely matters to you. If a tradition makes you feel uneasy, skip it. But if a piece of jewelry has meaning, don't let a myth take that away from you. The bigger thing to think about is protecting the jewelry you choose to wear, whether it's pearls, diamonds, gold, or anything else valuable. Because the real bad luck would be losing or damaging a sentimental piece and not having a plan in place. Dropping the rings during the ceremony is another superstition people worry about. Some say it's bad luck, but in real life, it's usually just a stressful little moment that becomes a funny story later. That said, rings can be damaged, misplaced, or dropped somewhere, hard to find. So this is one superstition where the practical advice really matters. Make sure your rings are properly sized before the wedding. If they're too loose, get them adjusted ahead of time. If you have a ring bearer, consider using a secure ring box instead of tying rings loosely to a pillow. And after the wedding, if the ring is dropped or knocked around, have it inspected by a jeweler. Not because your marriage is in danger, but because prongs, stones, and settings can be affected by impact. This is where planning beats superstition every time. Here's something couples may not think about. Superstitions can affect your wedding budget. Maybe you choose a so-called lucky date that falls during peak wedding season. That can mean higher venue and vendor costs. Maybe you change your date because somebody says a certain month is unlucky, and now you risk losing deposits. Maybe you add extra decor, clothing, favors, or rituals because they're supposed to bring good luck, even though they weren't part of your original plan. Traditions can be wonderful, but they should not pressure you into spending money you didn't plan to spend. Before you make a superstition-based decision, ask yourself 3 questions. Does this matter to us as a couple? Is this meaningful to our families or our culture? And is it worth the cost? If the answer is yes, great, include it. If the answer is no, let it go. Your wedding should reflect your relationship, not every opinion that gets thrown at you during the planning. So, how do you deal with all of these superstitions without getting overwhelmed? Start by writing them down. Seriously, make a list of superstitions you're hearing from family, friends, TikTok, wedding forums, wherever they're coming from. Then separate them into 3 categories. 1, traditions that are meaningful to you. 2, traditions that are meaningful to someone close to you. And 3, things that are interesting but not important enough to affect your plans. That makes it much easier to decide if you want to keep and what you want to ignore. Maybe wearing something blue feels special. Maybe not seeing each other before the ceremony matters to your family. Maybe avoiding pearls does not matter to you at all. You don't have to follow every superstition. You also don't have to reject every tradition. The goal is to build a wedding day that feels intentionally, not fear-based. At the end of the day, wedding superstitions can be fun. They connect us to history, family stories, culture, and tradition. But they should not control your wedding planning or take away from your peace of mind. Because the things that can actually disrupt a wedding are usually not omens. They're things like severe weather, vendor issues, illness, venue problems, lost deposits, and unexpected cancellations. That's where having a real backup plan matters. BriteCo Wedding Insurance can help protect your big day from real-world surprises, and getting a quote is quick and easy. You can check your price online in about 60 seconds. So keep the traditions that mean something to you. Skip the ones that don't, and protect the celebration you've worked so hard to plan. If you've heard a wedding superstition I didn't mention, drop it in the comments. I want to know the strangest one you've ever heard. And for more wedding planning and jewelry tips, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow BriteCo.